Hello everybody, welcome back to Just Gaming. Today we're going to play some more Infinitode 2. We just got done with, I believe it was 5.3. Yes, so the 5.3 level, kind of creating these videos back to back to back. We're going to run 5.4. Before we run 5.4, we're going to look at part of our reward from the last completion, which was opening up the flamethrower. So we've used the flamethrower in a bonus level before, but we're going to do kind of what I always do, which is create this U shape. Yeah, create this U shape and kind of get the tower kicked off here. Take a second here. We're going to put the damage here. I've got a lot of resources kind of leveled up, so I'm going to just kind of open up some of these things here, get the upgrade here. And this one's burning time flamethrower. Let's grab that. And then let's go back to the beginning here. So I'm going to put these up to kind of level 5, each on the side here. 5, and then damage. That opens up the star here. So the star gives damage 5% and rotation speed 10%. That is quite good. So we're going to snag that. Now the 2-star gives the range of 10%, which is nice. So let's see if we can get the range leveled up here. You see we're paying, to upgrade range by 1% each time here. But if we get this 2-star, we get a full 10% just for buying this particular one. So let's see if we can snag that with the resources we have available. I don't mind investing in the flamethrower. It's quite a good tower. And then this one requires the teal upgrade. It gets upgrade price -2 and damage 15%. So I might run out of resources here. Let's see, 48, 50. We're doing okay. But I think what I want to do here, instead of maybe travel towards that 3rd star, is let's get all of this stuff kind of to level 5. And get the rotation speed up a bit. Let's see if we can, I don't know how far this one's going to go for us. 18 of those. I think I'm good. Well, we're kind of limited by the info. Let's get the XP going here, and then I'm going to put 1 in here to open up this pathways here too. So it already says I can do damage per enemy and range ultimate. We're not going to get the ultimate engaged anytime soon. Let's see, this one requires 450. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we're locked by the infer. I don't really know how to say that. Infi-R, I guess, is the way to go there. Go ahead and upgrade that. Now, this XP, let's go ahead and throw those up. Starting cost and upgrade cost. We still have to work on the missile as well. So there's things to do there, but I'm going to keep working on this. See if we can at least open that 3rd star. We can. I think we're shy. Yeah. So each of these 3-star ones, there's a little inbuilt quest there that you have to complete. So we've already, even though we just opened this tower, there was a bonus level where it lets us use the flamethrower kind of for free. There's like kind of just one that's already placed, or it just let us use it for free. I forget. The minigun has that as well, where there is kind of a minigun that's already placed on one of the bonus maps, and you just get to use it. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, so we've got a little bit left. Let's increase damage and range. I'm just going to kind of bebop through these 3 until we run out of stuff. It shouldn't be too long. Yeah, we're basically looking to get to the, when we run out of the tensor, and yeah, so we're going to be limited. 1 more. Yep, that's it. Okay, so now the flamethrower, even though it was just unlocked, we've done a lot of work. I built up quite a bit of resources and kind of knowing that this was going to happen. So I like getting the towers up to speed pretty quickly so we can throw them in, start working that individual quest, and actually benefit from the tower itself. The flamethrower tower is quite good. I like using the tower kind of around where the portals are, especially if there's a good spot like behind the portal or on the sides of the portal. You can have the flamethrower just doing work right off the start. They do kind of work not very well hand in hand with the cold towers, the freezing effects. However, you can turn this into kind of a freezing flamethrower as well, which is typically what I end up doing. All right, so let's go back. Let's take a look at the level. We were going to try level 5.4. So 5.4 is 42, 63, and 84. So another extension of the stars here. We have to reach all the way to the 84th wave. We did get to 80 pretty easily, so I think we will probably be able to get to this wave. This is a shorter map. There's a lot less platforms. So very different from the previous one where, the previous two, really, we had just this abundance of platforms everywhere, and it was just an overload as far as the number of platforms. You kind of might want to play those previous two a little differently, especially if you haven't invested as much in your research tree. Probably want to play them with some of the modules and leveling up particular towers very, very high, and have those do a lot of work for you. But I like spreading out and building lots of towers. So there's a lot of different ways to play the game. So do it as you see fit, and let me know how it works out for you. If you try it the other way. I might do some of those, go back and try it with modules and build specific towers, try and build up as well, just for a different way to play the game. The other challenge of this 5.4 is not just the waves, but the enemies. The enemies are quite challenging here, where my least favorite enemy to face is this toxic one. They always seem to just really cause problems. And then secondarily, this fighter is, again, really, really tough. These guys divide up when you hit them, or when you kill the larger version of this, it splits into, I think, 3 smaller versions of it, and you have to kill all of those. This one's just tough. It's just very, very tough, and it's resistant to a lot of things. We do have 2 flyers, ices and helis, so we got some flying action on this one. Then we have the basic, weak, and strong, which you're very familiar with if you've watched any of these videos at this point. Mining-wise, a really good mix of mines, and then you've got a pure Empire and a pure blue here. Not really good for scalar, which is the green. I forget the names of all of them. I kind of just call them by their colors or their name if I remember it. But, a good mix here. Let's take a look at the map. The quest, playing time and money spent on towers. Those are usually the first 2 quests that you'll end up getting on a map or a level. I call them maps or levels, so interchangeably. So, lots of winding and twisting here, which is both good and bad. So there's no bonuses on the base, which is fine. And what I mean by bad is, when the enemies are in this middle section, you might not be able to reach them as well. So you really do need to kind of plan out your freeze zones. So if I put a freezer here and here, I'm missing these corners. If I put it in the middle, I'm kind of missing this section here, but hopefully eventually as they level up and expand, they'll get better. So what I remember doing with this map, and it might not be the best approach, is I just put freeze towers here, 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 and here. Kind of just walk along, and then there's sections where they're not freezing. We're in the very beginning, but it ends up being, working out where as you expand, you end up, covering these sections here. Then there's, you got these sections here to work as well as you end up going for more and more. So let's plan out here. So if I look here, I need fighters being dead, so I do definitely want some sniper action, but let's look at these flamers. So I'm particularly curious of the flamers and how they are against the fighters. They're very, very good. Typically when you open up a new tower, it's really good against the newly introduced units, and that's the case here. So I do want to kind of lay a flamer down here and have it do some work. I prefer the flamers to kind of follow as they're moving, but this is kind of an interesting map because you just don't necessarily get these long draws. This is kind of good here, but you'll kind of see on a traditional map, if you had a spot here to put a flamer right when they come out, or even here, they're just going to sit there and throw their flamer in the exact same direction. They don't have to rotate. They're just kind of roasting everything as it comes out. Here in the beginning, this is going to be a little counterintuitive with the freezing tower here, but eventually you'll be able to upgrade it. So you see plasma ignition is damage to enemies in direct fire times 1.38. So to increase your damage, if anything that's in the flame cloud. Napalm, burning times extended, damage is extended, but the direct damage is lowered. If cold fire is enabled, plus 25% freezing and plus 75% damage to burning enemies. So here, cold fire, damage is times zero point 0.8. It slows down enemies by 25%, doesn't ignite them, and doesn't reduce freezing effect. Deals plus 75% damage to burning enemies. Cold flame pierces through everything. This is typically the first thing that I get, so that way it doesn't work against my freeze towers. I really like the freezing towers. Some people, I don't know. I think freezing towers are really, really good in almost every game because it just slows things down. So go back to if you watch the Outhold videos, you'll see I'm a big fan of the towers that slow there as well. And I think they're called the pulse towers in that game. But they just slow things down. Some call them freezing, some call them slow towers, depending on the game. But it's very, very powerful effect in the game. So here, let's see, what does it do? Let's check other types of damage. So on the flamethrower, it does 75 to basics, 150. It does not affect the flyers. And then it's very good against the venoms as well. Interesting. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw down a sniper. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong button there. I'm going to hit it to strong. Then the next thing I'm going to look at is a minigun. Now, the minigun's going to be there to hopefully help us take out flyers. It'll do some work on some other things. It's not super duper effective against I think the fighters that can't even shoot at them. So I'm going to limit the amount of these I put out, but I got a lot of stuff that can't shoot at these guys either. So hopefully do some work there. And then a multi-shot was probably my next investment because this one does 150. Then if I put a multi-shot out, it does what? 150. So still these ices are still a little rough. It's probably the splashes. No? Maybe it's just the anti-aircraft. Then Teslas. Oh, Teslas. So we'll throw a Tesla out next. And that's what's going to help us with these ices. So you kind of got to get a good mix of towers here and hopefully you get some things going. So let's go ahead and get things started. Damage wise, I actually think I want a Tesla here. Just have it start doing some good damage. I'm going to go ahead and put a flamer here as well. So I got two flamers kind of doing their work. That's all good. I'm going to put a freezing tower down and another one down. So I have those started. Range wise, I'm going to throw a sniper out. Sometimes these flamers are really cool with range too. But if I put a sniper out, it's basically doing the whole thing. If I put a Tesla out, wow, that's really good too. I'm going to put a Tesla. Then I'm going to put a sniper here. Strong again. I really need to pay attention. Oh, I didn't put any of the multi-shots down. Let's do a rotating one here. And projectile speed. Yeah, I'm going to put one more multi-shot down. We're just going to kind of try and crush the weaks and yeah, so that's every platform there. Just try and crush all the weaks and stuff in here. All right, I'm going to throw a flamer here again. I really like the flamers on this particular map because hopefully it's going to do a lot of work for us. Here I'm not sure about one more flamer. Might put another, maybe Tesla out. Tesla's not going to get the fighters, but I have that. Tesla's good against a lot of the other stuff that's coming our way though. So I think we'll go one more Tesla and see about that. All right, so that's all of our platforms. Um, let's go ahead and start doing some upgrades. I'm going to upgrade the flamers in hopes that they level up quickly and I can switch them over to the cold fire. I'm going to get the kind of freezing towers upgraded so they can cover more distance. We got snipers here and here, so let's get those upgraded so they have more distance. Again, my traditional get everything to level 2. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but that's how I do it. In particular, on these maps where I'm trying to get to the third gold star type situation, I find that just using the towers as they are, and getting them leveled up tends to do a pretty good job. Hopefully, I make it here after saying that because I'd be like, oh, everything just crashed and I'm burning now. All right, so we can switch this over to cold fire and things will get frozen a little bit better. Here we've got, yeah, cold fire that too. Hopefully, this is going to do real work on these fighters. Oh, yeah, it's really good. I like that. Yeah, those fighters are really kicking our butts on the previous levels. So I'm happy to see them getting kind of wrecked by these flamers. I'm going to hold off a minute on this. Let's keep things slowing down. They're starting to get a little farther. I'm not super concerned about any of this, but let's see if we can mine some infrared while we're here. It seems to be going okay. Put this down real quick. I don't know if I'm going to put much more mining out, but let's do that. This one's probably going to get a decent chance at, I'm not sure if that's a good selection with the venom here, but let's just make it work. Hopefully. All right, let's see here. We have an upgrade here. And I am switching the speeds just for my comfort level, as far as being able to get things upgraded. I don't really like this monitoring system. Targets one enemy, slows it instantly and 15% harder, ignoring max freezing percentage. But I don't know if it targets everything else. I think it does, but I like having things frozen. So I'm going to put this back in. That was one of the pieces of advice I got from a comment. I might have to really, really try the monitoring system on some of the runs where I'm just experimenting with things and see how it works out. It looks like it shoots out like a ray and it just slows down that one, but maybe it's slowing the everything down and then it's exceptionally slowing down the one in particular. Not really sure. So here the fighters are getting farther, so I want to see if I can upgrade this system over here a little bit. I should probably have a flamer in here somewhere, but it is what it is. Let me get this upgraded a little bit. He's got an upgrade there. Eventually something's going to get me, but I definitely need to get pretty deep into this. I think I need to get to wave 84, so I might have to use some of my abilities to make that happen. So is everything 4, level 4 now? In the middle, yes. For here. All right. Now, this is level 6 over here. Yeah, and I'm not too afraid of investing into the flamethrowers heavily because I'll get I've upgraded their trees quite a bit. If cold fires, I'm going to go ahead with this napalm so I can get extra freezing on them. Okay. And here, do that again. All right, I'm going to start to invest in the freeze towers a little bit more. Get this first one done. All right, we got level 5 now all the way across. Level 4 is here. Let's go and upgrade a sniper here. Snag that. I'm going to turn this one into a more of an assassin. We have these fighters coming over here. I'm going to cold fire, evaporate, slow things down a bit, put a freeze down. Oh, I should have not frozen it there. Let him get into target first. See if we can force some damage on that one. These multi-shots do okay against this as well, especially when they're smaller. So I'm going to get those invested up a little bit. This doesn't even shoot at a fighter, but that we got it. So that's good. All right, so we're back to some weaks coming at us. We've got a pretty good defense against the weaks. I'm not too worried about them. Let's get this to level 5, and I'm going to speed it up again. We just need to kind of micromanage things on this. To get that, I think we need to get to 84. So I'm going to push these flamers up. I think they're kind of going to be the key against these fighters and the venoms. Already got that sniper to 5 over here. The weaks are not getting out of this first loop either. Now these venoms are going to push a little farther, which is all right. We've got things to take care of them out here too. Okay, the flyers. This is kind of a first real... Yeah, that was pretty good. The helis didn't even get out of there. So I'm going to upgrade this. We got a little tiny section left here. This one's attack speed, so I'm going to upgrade this one to 6 and see if we can keep doing some big damage over here. You see the venoms are getting a little farther. They come in such dense packs. It gets kind of scary watching them come at you. There's so many of them. So hopefully, let's get this freezing area upgraded. All right, so we're on our last batch of waves that we need to get through to activate the 3rd gold star, which is our main priority here. So these fighters, I'm going to freeze them once they get close to this flamer here. So let's go there and let's get it flamer, a little bit of an upgrade there. I'm going to freeze them again. And I might have to just nuke them. Yeah. There's too many coming in, so I didn't take any damage, but it's just there's so many there, so it's going to be tough to take care of them. I'm going to keep pushing these flamers up, I think. I think that's really going to be the only way that I can take care of these. So I think the strongs and the weaks should be okay. This one does nothing against that. They do 50%. Now, these guys are the really fast ones here. I think our multi-shots should take care of the vast majority of them. Even if one gets through, I'm not super concerned about that. I really want to concentrate on these flamers if I can. These helis only got to like about here last time. You can kind of always check this splat map. It kind of tells you what enemies are getting where. You see these, this is about where the weaks are getting, but you see the fighters are getting all the way over here. So there's a lot going on with those fighters. I would like to get this particular one upgraded again. Oh boy. Yeah, even with these really far upgraded, it's causing some issues there. So let's pause this and see if we can get some of these taken care of. But man, these fighters are really rough. We have enough for a nuke, but let's see. Yeah, we're gonna have to nuke again. Just yep. All right, even with the nuke, I blew them up and created smaller entities, which was bad. So that was a mistake on my part, but yeah, you're gonna have those. We did get our third gold star, so that's important. I'm gonna freeze some things there. Look to see if I can concentrate on some of these sniper upgrades. So everything's pretty much level 5 except for this tower here. Let's upgrade this one. So everyone's at least doing some kind of moderate amount of work here. I think we're kind of pushing into where our limits are at this moment. Let's freeze. All right, let's freeze again. Hopefully this flamer is able to get a bunch of those. Nope. Still these venoms. Look how stacked up they are. Holy smokes. All right, fireball got some of them, but I think we're pretty much at the end of the line here. Pretty good run. Not going to stress too much about it. There's some upgrades over here I might not even be able to get going here, but we'll see. Yeah. All right. I think that was a pretty decent way to handle that level. Um, I'm pretty happy with that run. 167,000 score. We got 18 minutes, almost 19 minutes into it, 96 waves. We got our third gold star, which is what we were mainly aiming for there. So let's go back to the menu. Let's open some boxes here that we got. Nice. All right. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so on the levels, we're at 5.4. So 5.5 is open now. We have 12 of the 24. Let's go back to the research. I don't think we have anything of super value here other than we're looking to get to this attack speed. So we're going to invest in this experience point modifier to get there. The next time we get stars, hopefully we get at least one. We've been doing very good. We had some failures along the way, but going back and just working this research tree pretty hard by getting resources is really the way to kind of launch yourself deeper into these levels. If you're struggling, I strongly advise, if you're hitting a wall in like stage 3 or something, go back and run stage 1, get these quests done. You see that I've gone back and I've completed 23 quests here, like 32 here. Go back and work these quests and look for the bonuses where the bonuses are at. Run these levels and don't run them with this minus 100% XP, but run them where you've got something free, you haven't run it, you have quests available. And then I think you can reset these, or they reset every 20 minutes or something like that. So you should be able to work through many of these before they reset and earn the type of ores that you need to advance your tree. So advancing in the research tree is where is a huge part of the game, and making sure that you're continuously improving your towers or having the ability to improve your towers as you move through the game. So that's it for what was it, 5.4. Yeah, we're getting pretty deep. Hopefully we'll get stage 6 unlocked here soon and keep progressing. Stage 6 is where, things go quite bonkers as far as your ability to progress. I did get into stage 6. I think I completed all of the stages and levels, but I'm not 100% sure if I got them all with 3 gold stars last time I played. So we're getting pretty deep into the game. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know where you're at. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them. Not the super expert on it, but I've played enough that I'd probably be able to answer questions along the way. And I hope you're having a great one. Take care.